I'm Gaz, and this is Let's Quickly Play Dragon Ruins 2, the slightly expanded upon, slightly improved sequel to the first game. I've played just a little bit, not all the way to the end like I did with the first one. This game is a little bit different, so let's get into it and see what's new here. So we are back in Facile, the capital of Iziquer again. Time moves a little bit slower this time. So when you come back to town, a certain amount of time passes. And again, I don't know what time has to do with anything pertinent to the game, it's there. This time also, there's a few new things. You can now change your party and change the formation of the party. And you can put each individual either in the front or the back. And you can see right now here, Ludo is gaining a little bit of a penalty for being in the back. Apparently he is a front row character, and I think I will go ahead and do that for now. He's kind of a weak character. This is actually a thief. I've got a giant, a thief, an archer, and a priest. I've been keeping him back. You can see there, based on his stats, he does gain a little bit more defense, quite a bit more defense, actually being in the back. He does take some heavy hits. You know what? Maybe I'll just keep him back here. Even though he's taking a speed penalty, it's probably best just to have him here. And then this time you can actually look through your monster records to find out what's going on here with your various creatures. And I guess that's just... I don't see how this would really help in any fashion, because, I mean, just run up against these monsters regardless. But I guess it kind of tells you, where you need to be, maybe. Yeah, there's apes in here. You can actually create an ape as a character. There are many more characters in this one. Let's see if I can't maybe edit the party. Yeah, there we go. So there's the knight, the fighter, the general, Gert, the dwarf. They have names now. They all have special abilities too. You can see down there at the bottom they have different abilities that they bring to the game, which is nice. The fact that you can swap them out too also kind of is cool. And there's the ape character. So I guess the characters that you've already taken are taken out of the list, which means I'm assuming that they're perpetual, so you can kind of swap out your party kind of like you could in the old wizardry games. And then what else? This time they have inventories. There are actually multiple items you can have now. You cannot buy them though. Still, at the blacksmith, all you can do is upgrade them to the next thing. You can choose improved versions, which cost a considerable amount more. But one thing that this game has that the first one didn't is droppable loot, or I guess there's also treasure chests as well. And so you can change basically the beginning loadout of your characters. Like the priest here actually starts out... was it with a club or an axe? I forget, but it wasn't the staff. I found the staff, and you can see there it has magic attack on it, and it will tell you, if you want to start swapping it between characters, it will tell you what they actually like. And so Warren, being a priest, actually is fine with magic, but if I had given it to the thief, the stats would actually be a lot lower. Trading Post has only one extra item now, compared to the first, which is the master key, so you can unlock your chest, but I chose the thief specifically because he has a skill which improves opening the chests. And then you can sell items that you pick up in the dungeon or that you don't put on your characters anymore. And then probably one of the major changes that is most important to the feel of the game are the quests. So now there are actually multiple quests, and they have different adventuring ranks as well as rewards. And going all the way up then, of course, to what appears to be the end, where you fight the dragon this time. Thing is, though, these are also repeatable quests. So you see this first one here. This guy's talking about with the goblins and undead gone. Those were the first two times I went through the dungeon. The first one was infested by goblins, and the goblin shaman was what I had to kill. And then there's the undead, and now the place is being ransacked by thieves. So I just go back in. The map stays the same; it's completely explored. But the treasures reset, and I think that even their locations are different. as well as the enemies get a little bit tougher. But again, it is Adventure Rank Novice, so even though the enemies swap out, you should still be able to get them. And then I've also done this one where I went in and fought some undead to help her so she could get her herbs and spices and whatever for healing. But this time I'm going to go into the Cursed Mansion. This is another novice rank thing, so I should still be able to get this. And we're going to explore the map entirely. So, workers are too scared to renovate my mansion, claiming it's haunted. Normally I would ignore their superstitious drivel, but I already had to hire new workers 3 times. Figure out what the problem is and I'll pay you handsomely. Okay, in we go. Same basic controls, but as you can see, where does that lead? The graphic style is now different. This is more Apple II, maybe? In imitation of? Well, so in the first game, these pentacles here were teleports back to the entrance. Since it's here, I'm not really sure where this goes. I'm a little hesitant to just jump into it. Oh, we also see there's a thing on the left now, too. Over time, you can build up a group attack, which does a hell of a lot of extra damage. And at least in the first few levels, it built up slowly enough that by the time you got to the final boss, you could use it. So I'm going to imagine it's the same here. It doesn't really build up fast enough that you can use it twice in a level. Let's step on the pentacle and see where this sends me, and hopefully not somewhere I'm going to have to fight. Oh. It's a trap. Okay. Well, I took a lot of unnecessary damage there. Okay. Lots of traps. The tank controls are a little bit different. In the first game, when you swapped around, boy, do I want to do that for map completion? Just touch them? Not really. It does a lot of damage. In the first game, when you pushed backwards, it would just flip you, and in this game, it is actual tank controls. Okay, easy undead. Strange tombstones in here for some reason. Okay, well, you'd think that that would be maybe a treasure room, but it is not. I'm gonna have to go back and heal here pretty soon. That trap did a number on me. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. So very much, you know, just another run around back and forth. I thought that maybe, since the levels that I've previously done don't require too much, they don't take too long, I thought maybe I could get through this in one go. Okay, so we've rested for a month. I guess basically it's like the more damage you take, the longer the time in town takes. Where am I at, by the way? Okay, well, first of all, I can't even do that. And then these, now I think that I'm at like 300 gold if I want to upgrade anything else at a minimum. So we won't be doing that for quite some time. It's nice, too, that you're not necessarily locked in to the same mission. You can choose, like, if it's too hard for you, you can choose to back out and choose a different mission. Same mechanics, where basically you are auto-battling, and that allows you to move around as you are being attacked. Oh, there's a chest here. Tunic. Okay. Dang it. Status. There we go. Alright. So that would slow me down a little bit. Only by 1, though, but it would give me a lot more defense. Now, if I wanted to swap your formation so that you could do more damage, that might be worthwhile. Get rid of that hat. Although the hat is giving me confusion resistance. You know what? Let's do that. Let's see if this is worth my while here. The novice robe. Oh well, I can't replace it. So it's an accessory. But yeah, let's try that. And then, probably not better than the iron mask, and since you don't have anything, we'll just give you the hat. There. That works out a little bit better. Anyway, so yeah, like the auto battler aspect means that you can basically run through enemies, and they seem to have a shorter chase range. So, like, if there was, you know, the enemy here, I'd probably still get attacked here, but not necessarily here. Whereas in the first game, I felt like it followed you for about 3 squares. But this allows me to basically explore the room whilst I'm killing all the enemies. The map is a little bit harder to get to this time around. In the first game it was a 1-button map, but now that they've added the menu and all, there's actually another floor. Okay, this is the first time I've seen that. The first 2 maps are a singular, very symmetrical layout. Short sword. Well, we've got some level ups, but I don't have enough money to level them up. He's not going to want that. Yeah, it's not a good move for him. That would increase his speed, but reduce his attack by quite a lot, so... there's also that new stat for weight, and I believe that, as you get more and more encumbered, affects your attack speed. But if there's a second floor to this map, this may not be as fast as I had anticipated, which would be unfortunate. Oof. Alright. I do think I have 1 potion on hand. Much like the first game, the potions are not something you can use. They automatically get used when one of your character runs out of health, so it's helpful as a second wind, but it's expensive and not something you can rely on if you're just hoping to rush through things. Is it worth... Okay, if I take a right... I think we should go back to town. Spend another day. A new year dawns upon the people of Igsweir. It's Soul's birthday. Alright, this is another thing. Your characters each have a birthday, and when it is that day, or past it, they will get birthday money. A wing amulet. What is a wing amulet? Oh, it increases his agility and stun resistance. Well, let's see. Agility, I think, is probably going to be tied to you. I would lose a few health points and physical attack or physical defense, but I'd gain some magic defense. I think overall maybe I want to give this to him. He would gain a lot of stats, particularly agility, which would help him dodge, because as we've seen, his shield is his face. His face is his shield, and he takes a lot of damage as a frontliner. I would go ahead and do that. Would anyone like his boots? I think we can just get rid of those. We can get rid of both of these. Then, let's go to the guild. Rather pricey, but so far I have found that leveling up is more important than improving your gear. Like, the gear is the fill-in stuff. When it's too expensive to level up your characters, oh my. And it looks like enough time has passed that the monsters are back. When it takes too much time to level, or too much money to level up your characters, leveling up your gear helps. Alright. We're almost at a group attack. Again, I'm hesitant to use it, unless we really need to. And, maybe I should move Mr. Thief back to the back row. $19 gold. Alright, well, looks like we cleared that out. Be heading up to the second level. Guess we'll take some attacks here. Okay. Yeah, I do have that. I don't know. I do have enough money that I could level up someone too. You know what? Yeah, alright. It's just more time spent, but maybe we'll be lucky and we won't have a whole lot to slog through on the way back. Days. You know, Iris being in the back, I think might be okay. To level Warren up. Go back the same route. Okay. Man, I don't know. My giant is not doing too great there. Second floor of the mansion. So now this is where things get a little bit trickier. Because I'm only imagining that going back down on the second floor runs the risk of still running into respawn mobs. Another wing amulet. So, I mean, for the agility, what if she loses physical defense, but boosts a lot of other stuff? I think, well, maybe. I mean, that's just a straight plus. I lose curse resistance, but I gain everything else. So I guess it would depend, then, what kind of creatures I was going up against. Whether I would find one resistance more important than the other. You know, but fighting undead, you'd think maybe curse. But all status ailments go away after you've beat the mob. I don't know, man. That giant's taking a beating. This windy path here makes me concerned that we're running into a room. I guess if I feel like I'm in danger, like the boss, I can run away. Okay, well, adept boots. Overall, not great. That's a magic enhancer, huh? Okay. Well, that would make sense, the whole adept in the name. Ring mail we probably want to keep. Well, I can't even replace it anyway. So I'd lose that 1 agility now, but I would gain everything as opposed to losing the physical defense. I also gain that speed. Keeping the agility, I think, is going to help with the dodge. I think we'd better play it safe here. Keep the physical defense. Alright. I'm going to be cowardly here. I do have a potion, so it wouldn't be the end of the world if the giant took a big hit. What is his 14 and 9? So he seems to be suffering most probably from magical attacks, is what I'm thinking. But also being a frontliner and like the first position, he probably is also... Whoops. Yeah, there we go. Probably also taking the majority of hits. So let's hope there's no respawns here that'll gonna wipe me out. Oh, I see. It's on the same board. It's just teleports you to a different part of the map. $30 days. Damn. We could level you up. Okay. At some point, I think that it is actually important. No. Pick the wrong map. Pick the wrong one. At some point, I think it is important to just kind of hold off on the levels. And so far, I've been kind of feeling that out by the damage we take. And so, you know, when I feel like I can move relatively unmolested, that's when I have so far been kind of holding back on leveling and then focusing on spending money to get my gear up. It seems to be working out all right. Okay, well, we got a spiral room here. I'm kind of convinced that's going to lead to a boss room. Just feels like that's where that's at. So why don't we go explore the mansion upper floor just a little bit. I really wish there was more loot. Not just for the sake of improving my gear, but also just so that I would have things to sell. And I guess maybe that's another bottleneck too for continual leveling, is that it gets too pricey to do so, and so it's a lot cheaper than to just focus on your gear. Okay, well, a lot of the maps do tend to be symmetrical, so I think that's probably what we're seeing here now, or quasi-symmetrical anyway. Okay, there's a chest. 40 gold. Now that helps. Ah, that's why it took so long to beat this mob. I was running into another mob. That looks different. Okay, I'm going to try the multi-attack. I think that might be the boss. Yay! But Like all good adventurers, I fully intend to map out everything. Although, if I went back now, I would gain some reward. I would just be able to come right back in anyway. Continue my exploration on the second round. Okay. Well, do I waste a potion? Wasting a potion is wasting gold, so I guess we'll cut this one short, and I'll just finish the exploration in a different run. Hey. Get out of here. Again, let's hope there are no respawns on the bottom floor. Exit, thank you. Are you done? What took you so long? I've had enough of your ghost stories for the rest of my life. Farewell, adventurers. Oh no, he's not gone, is he? Oh, he's back. There's another problem. Okay, good. So we got some money. The guild. Let's see, it's now going to cost me all this money to level these guys up. Level 10's probably a good place to stop, because right now I could only buy 2 gear improvements. And every 5 levels you get to choose a skill. So, blunt damage. He has a sword, that would not be good there. Plus 3 damage when hitting weak spots. That is something that happens behind the scenes, I have no idea. Deal more damage during united attacks. Well, that's so rare it's not really worth it. Piercing damage, which I imagine bypasses armor. And a 50% chance of resisting a stun. Well, we don't get stunned, so actually Piercer seems like probably the best choice right now. I don't know when or how this would trigger, so I imagine that this would be better, because this seems like, you know, a critical if you hit a weak spot, whereas this is just plus 3 piercing damage, period, so that sounds good to me. Ludo? Skill here, raises initiative when taking damage. Survive the killing blow with 1 HP. That could be useful. Staff attack, he doesn't do that. Bow attack is not for you. And a 50% chance to reduce or to resist confusion. Again, we don't really want things that aren't going to trigger. Like, so far I've been good at keeping this, but this could come in handy as just a... Or raises initiative. This would, I guess, would probably allow me to attack first, faster, or more often. You know what? This seems more useful. And then Warren. Inflicts poison upon enemies. Now, the unfortunate thing here is that this doesn't tell you what I've already taken. Inflicts stun upon enemies. Vitality 3, so improved health. Reduces speed penalty from equipment, so you'd attack faster. And staff power. Right now he does have a staff. And what did he start with, though? If I could remember what he started with. I don't think staff and... maybe it was a mace. I don't know if those count as the same thing. That could be handy, or that could be handy. He's not been taking a lot of damage, though. Kind of like in the first game, the priest seems to be pretty good at defense. I think I might have already given him poison. Maybe I gave the thief poison. Stun would probably be really good. Let's go with stun. Kind of want to see. So yeah, he is using the staff, but party restores 1 HP after winning battle is his healer. So in this one, the priest actually does have a healing aspect, which he didn't have in the first game. Then I gave him combo. Yeah, sometimes make a quick follow-up attack. And then inflict stun. Okay. Kind of wish I could see that before I commit. I guess maybe that's on me to pay attention to that sort of thing. So she's almost there. What are her skills? Inflict stun upon enemies, inflict blindness upon enemies. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm almost always going to give her a bow, so if I get lucky, maybe she will level that up. You know what? We can try that though, right? Let's go try and finish that off. Maybe we'll get her leveled up here too. There's another problem. A servant found an ancient book in my uncle's collection and tried to read it. He butchered the pronunciation so badly that a spell that granted a powerful blessing became a demon summoning spell. You believe it? Sort this out now. Okay, we're going up against demons. Well, let's see how good we do there. Let's see. Could I go? It's all the same way, isn't it? Really? Although it kind of feels like going to the right is slightly easier. But if you think in terms of movement spawning enemies, it's kind of like the same length in corridor. Alright. Okay, well, we took those on. She's leveled up, but I want to finish mapping out the place here. Plus, I kind of need some gold. Music gets real intense. Come on. Up. Now, I don't know. I mean, we already found... Well, actually, it is, yes. Based upon the other maps, the monster room still remains the monster room. So we already know where we could beeline if I really wanted to. Not sure that I should. I don't seem to be having too big a problem against these guys, but again, it's pretty important, I think, to have the group attack on hand. If for nothing else, then it just shortens the fight. Looks like there's a chest. Another wing amulet. I mean, those feel pretty good, but I don't know if everybody should have one. Just for agility, I don't know that it's worth giving up the defense. And for him especially, losing the 2 physical, I think we're okay. So hopefully those things are worth some gold. That'll actually be helpful. So I'm seeing a few of the ghostly characters, or ghostly enemies that we had faced before with demons as an addition. That's a little bit different than some of the other ones, which actually just replaced, like an enemy set, a gauntlet. Would that be good for Mr. Physical here? Loses speed, but gains 2 in strength damage, so I'm going to say yes. And so now that I've done that, now that I've changed his weapon set, if I go back to the blacksmith, upgrades will now be for the gauntlets, as opposed to whatever comes after leather gloves, which actually might be gauntlets, now that I think about it. But it might be like a... But like the plus, you know, gauntlets plus I would not get access to by wearing leather gloves. So, it's expanded in good ways, I think. what was otherwise a very simple and simplistic mechanic in the first game gives you a little bit of something to work towards in this game. I don't know, can we... Okay, and now we're there. I don't want to go into the boss room at this point. I don't think we'll survive, although I am very close to a group attack. I'd rather do so at full health. Well, shit, we might as well come back then, huh? Now that I've cleared this whole way, you just go back, heal, and then, well, I don't know. With as much damage as I've taken, we'd probably all respawn because it would be like a 30-day rest period. That's okay, because then we'd build up our group attack and be able to make it, right? Okay, 25 days, yeah, it's probably changed now. Okay, so let's do one quick look. Stun, blindness, stun and blindness, okay. So poison, chance of resisting poison, increases health. She doesn't seem to have a problem with that. Piercing damage again, get bigger birthday presents, well, having a little extra cash on hand might be nice, at least at first. Maybe if your bonuses are bigger. I don't know, it seems like it's still about the same, even at level 10 so far. I think each character has maybe had 2 birthdays at this point. So it doesn't look like the money is growing that much bigger. So that aspect, maybe in late game, isn't as important. I would have no idea. Like that, as you saw from the number of quests available in the guild, this game has quite a long ways yet to go. Taking damage fills the united attack gauge. Oh, well, again, she doesn't take too much damage being in the back, though. That would be something I would love to have on my giant. I think I'll give her piercing damage, just so we can bypass some armor here. Now, I do have 300. Hell, let's do it. Well, and I can go to the trading post, actually, because I got a lot of stuff here that I don't necessarily want. Well, like the gloves. Yeah, let's empty it all. Probably should consider buying at least one more medicine at some point. And as the levels get longer, teleport wouldn't hurt. But if so far, like, they've been very reasonable. You know, it doesn't take me too long to get back. Unlike the first game where the map was huge, it was kind of a hassle. It's not too much of a thing to run backward to heal up and then go back in. So far, at least, it's not worthwhile. I imagine that as the levels get more difficult, or you know, with not just with monsters, but they probably also get more difficult in terms of size and all that stuff too. Anyway, blacksmith. Let's see. So let's take a look here. So now we can get the gauntlets or upgrade the vambraces, which are enormous, and I can't afford either of those. Leather armor to rigid leather increases weight, so that lowers his speed. Novice robe. Bump that to adept robe. I think maybe novice robe is still his original equipment, actually. Ring mail. For a staff, we could get the adept staff or adept staff plus if I wanted to save up for it. Honestly, I think he might need the most. But with how low that physical damage resistant, the physical defense is, I feel like I would come upon something better for him at some point, and it wouldn't be worth spending the money on this. Whereas he takes a hell of a lot of damage all the time. Alright. Might be a waste at this level to be buying all the cheap stuff, and it might be worth saving up, but ultimately this game actually does seem to at least reward replayability a little bit more. So I imagine corridor is refilled. Oh, not yet. Okay. Ah, okay. Well, some rooms are, apparently. Damn. Okay, so it does look like our giant just got confused there. Or stunned, whatever that symbol indicates. He takes a lot of damage. An inordinate amount of damage. Far more than you'd think. He has the highest physical defense of the entire party. Yeah, he's constantly getting his ass kicked. Well, there's really no difference, is there? It's the same length to the middle room. But we know we at least came from this way. So maybe it'll be clear. I guess I don't want it to be clear, though, do I? Because I do kind of need to build up that gauge. Oops. So we're going to have to go the other way. Okay, now it's full. Let's go the safe way. You know, from an architectural standpoint, this mansion is insane. This winding labyrinth up here. Okay. Well, get ready on the trigger so I can do my multi-attack. Fortunately, it seems to have put all those on a monster I didn't particularly need. But yay! Now, is there a chest respawn in here? No. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, that's just one of these coffin casket things that seem to be in every room of all these dungeons for some weird region. Okay, well now we can go back. Got a few level ups. And if I really wanted to, you know, I've got enough health that I could probably grind out the rest of the respawns that are in the mansion, which might actually be good. I guess just from the perspective that I know I can beat them, you know. So if I did do that, then I at least could guarantee I'm just going to be fighting monsters that I would not have an issue with. Because as soon as you go out, then you know they spawn in the next tier of monsters. But I don't think I'm going to get my archer leveled up in time. I'm probably not going to have enough money to level people up anyway, so it's not like she's going to be too far behind. Let's just get out of here. This is, after all, only a quick look video, so... Took your sweet time. Pray tell that you haven't stolen anything while poking around there. Well, I took a few things out of chests. No, I don't want to hear it. Just take the gold. 17 days. Alright. And, yeah, not a whole lot of money there. But enough that I probably could level somebody up. Couple somebodies. May as well level up the front. Because they do take a bit. Okay. Real quick, because these are still novice, I kind of want to try the first adept. Just to see. Just the first room. That is a considerable bump in reward. So let's go see. I can always run away. I discovered ancient ruins with many treasures inside, but my gang decided to kick me out and keep the gold. Kick their asses and I'll empty my stash for you. And hey, you might find something nice in these ruins. Alright, let's just see how much... Oh, well, there's a door right here. Oh, huh? So not terrible, actually. In fact, those monsters kind of felt like the first... Or the second batch of monsters from the first level. Except for that. I don't know what that is. Easy enough, though. But yeah, the rogue. I already fought some of these guys. Okay. Huh. Interesting. I was expecting more of a problem. The ghosts felt like they were stronger. That was just the first level of the third thing, but okay, well, whatever. I will always have the chance to come back for that, I guess. But anyway, yeah, so an improvement for sure over the first game. It took a lot of what I felt was very nice and simple and made it a little bit more complex and a little bit more worth the grind, I guess. There's a lot more content thanks to all this. Let's see, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 different areas, different locations, and then who knows how many respawns and reiterations. You know, I haven't tapped this out, so I don't know how many times you get to go in. This would be third level of the first location if I went into this one. So you know what, let's just see how much tougher these guys are. Just for a little funsy here. Oh, we went through that dwarf real easy. The dwarf was pretty formidable in the first game. Actually, this would not be a bad thing to grind through. Okay, a little bit tough. Not too bad. This area in particular, though, ooh, an ape, would be good to go through because these corridors here, these chambers, these 6 right here, are where treasures spawn and respawn. So, not in this one. Curious what that is. Is that a puma? Not in this room either. Okay, well, unfortunate, but sometimes you'll get lucky, I guess, and there will be a treasure chest in there. Not in this one either, dang it. I think it was my on the second run through. I got lucky, and all of the chambers on this side had a chest in them. Let's just see if that happens again. Although, damn, my thief might die here. Taking some damage. Not in this one either. Really. Okay, maybe I'm just gonna do... Okay, there is one here. Maybe I'll just run through here. Ring of Magic. Probably only one guy wants that. Alright, I'm gonna do it this time. The physical defense, maybe... What about the boots? Oh, that's even worse than that. Okay. I mean, he's not particularly a magic user, being a priest and all, but he does have healing magic, I guess. These guys are chasing me. Okay. Might be doomed here, but, dang, only one chest in that entire thing, huh? Well, yeah, whatever. A little bit tougher. We've almost filled up our thing again. Got some level ups. Do I have any more money? 31 days. Okay, well, that whole thing's going to be reset for sure. Not enough to buy everybody. Go with you. But, yeah. I do like the idea of the party swap outs. Just means that you'd have to level them up. That was a thing in the original Wizardry, though. You could put a bunch of people in the tavern and then come back for them, but, you know, they would be whatever level you left them at. So you'd have to grind through and all. But that would be interesting. I wonder, though, if there's a mechanic then where a party dies and gets left in the dungeon. Probably not. In the first game, I think when your character died, you would just drag them back with you. They'd still be in the party, but it may be a party wipe? I don't know. I'd probably just reload you back to wherever. But like in Wizardry, your characters would die, and then you could send a new party in to go recover the bodies. That'd be an interesting thing to maybe put that in this game. Again, I don't know. But definitely a lot more replayability, and overall then I think kind of justifies the price a little bit more than the first game. The first game isn't really much of any game at all, to be honest with you. But nice idea still. Again, still utilizes the good artwork here. Soundtrack's nice. Overall, nice casual little dungeon crawler to remind you of yesteryear. I think we'll call it good for now. So that was Dragon Ruins 2. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next Let's Play.